Alright, what's up guys? I'm going ahead and doing a little 5-minute updated video on the Girsan MC 1911S 45, and I want to go ahead and reiterate that if you get this pistol, just know you're getting what you pay for, and I definitely got what I paid for. So I paid around 540, but the sale price, they were trying to charge me 600 for it, which I think is a markup from what it actually, what actual MSRP was. So I ended up getting a discount because, working in the military. I was in the military. And so because of that, I was able to get this at close to what MSRP was. And thus, I got the pistol and expected, a decent bit of, reliability. But me not doing my research on Turkish firearms in general, I did not realize that it was going to be a hunk of junk. Now, am I going to say that it is a hunk of junk now? Well, let's go ahead and dive deeper into what I'm talking about. So in the beginning, it shot around 2 to 3 rounds before it would jam up every single time, and I had to switch out the magazines. I ended up getting Pro Mags, and those didn't work. So then I ended up getting Wilson Combat Mags, and these decided to start working. And after around 350 rounds, I started to notice that the firearm wanted to shoot more consistently, more consecutively, and it did not want to jam up as much. Now, I understand that there is a break-in period for pretty much any pistol out there or any gun out there. And typically, when it comes to 1911s, you're going to want around 500 rounds through it, in which I did shoot 500 rounds, and this is my thoughts on it. So initially, you got those 2 to 3 rounds, and it was just absolute garbage. I thought about throwing this thing out, and it was just not going to be available because it did not want to do what I wanted it to do. Shoot consistently and be reliable, and if I can't lay more rounds down range, then this thing has no use for me. But after I started to see it was coming around the 400 mark, I did notice that the pistol started to shoot a lot more consistently and consecutively, and it wanted to be more reliable. Now, with that being said, I did lube it up as if it like dunking it in lube and then going ahead smacking a magazine inside, in which it started to shoot all the way up until I got to the 8th round. And once it got to the 8th round, it would jam, and it still does it to this day. It does not like that 8th round, in which I would have to take the magazine out, lock it to the rear, and then go ahead and eject the round, put the round inside the magazine again just by itself, smack it back in, and then it would shoot. Therefore, would I say this thing is a hunk of junk now? I wouldn't say it's as much of a piece of junk as it was before. It still does not shoot reliably as much as I want it to. I want all those 8 rounds. I want to be able to shoot all those rounds reliably and rarely have a jam. But when it comes to the price point, you are getting what you paid for, which is $500 for a 1911. You're looking to pay around 800 plus for a decently maintained and a decently reliable pistol. Now, that doesn't count for the Rock Island pistol. I have seen those things run fairly decently, but compared to the 1911s that are made by, let's say, for instance, Colt, Springfield, or many other brands, I have not seen it run as reliably. It still has jams, but for this one in particular, we're talking about the Girsan MC 1911S. If I were to tell you or if I were to see it on the wall today, would I pick it up? Absolutely not. I would save my money and get myself something more reliable, as well as get myself something that has a little bit more capacity, and which I am looking at another pistol to get, and I'm thinking about selling this so that way I can get some money back to pay towards the next one. And I want at least 250, 300 bucks coming from this thing. Um, and it sounds like it, for a Turkish pistol, it doesn't rattle. It slides very decently. The trigger pull is very good, but when it comes to cycling, you need to run those 500 rounds, and then it'll cycle somewhat better. Actually, significantly better than its initial shots. So I had also went through many different kinds of rounds, and I didn't start buying the rounded tip hollow points, and I didn't start buying the rounded tip ball ammo in general up until I reached around 200 rounds, which I didn't realize it didn't like the flat tip ammo. But now that I have more rounded out pistol 45 ACP, it does like that more, and which I will be using it more often. So with that being said, would I recommend you get this? No, I think you should save your money and get something of higher quality. In fact, I have a recommendation for you. Now, I don't have any experience with it, but I have done a significant amount of research on it. But if you want a 1911 and you wanted something closer to the government model 1911, I suggest you get yourself a Springfield Armory 1911 Defender. Now, with that being said, that is my conclusion to this pistol. I will be getting rid of it. That's not to say Girsan doesn't make good pistols. I don't have any experience with any other pistols. I just have experience with this or any other firearms at that. But I know from this pistol not to get this anymore. Will I be getting any more pistols from Girsan in the future? No. I will just be saving up for more reliable, more and a more robust and better built pistol. I want something that is going to stick with me in times of need and in times of fun. So that's my ultimate take on this pistol, and I will be selling it. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. And overall, I hope you find this informational. It's always that last round.
Fucking good.